Ha ha! The Equalizer is a film directed by Antoine Fuqua, and it stars Denzel Washington, Marton Csokas, and Chloë Moretz. Now, this film is incredibly loosely based on the old 80s television show of the same name. I will say, if you've never heard the theme song to that old 80s show, you should definitely go and look it up because I think it's awesome. Denzel Washington plays a guy who obviously has a mysterious past. He has these abilities, and he's obviously tried to get away from that past. And yet, the people around him start getting hurt, and he feels like he needs to step in and be the guy that he used to be. And in the midst of that, he runs afoul of an organized crime syndicate. Marton Csokas plays the guy for the syndicate who comes in to deal with this new interloper. Now, this film is a lot of what you would expect from what you've seen in the trailer. It's an action film. It's a vehicle for Denzel Washington to be an action star again. And, you know, he's a very, very good actor. And the scenes that he is in are definitely some of the strong points of the film. He has some great lines that he's given, and he delivers them very well. I mean, he really is the strength of this film. On the other side of the coin is Marton Csokas, his character. He definitely plays a bad guy. And while his character is a bit one-sided, at the same time, he has a lot of really intense moments that he does very well, and he was the other part of this film that I liked. Overall, this film is definitely a really good action ride. There's plenty of explosions and gunfire and fight scenes. There's some cool stuff and some things to enjoy if you want to go and see an action film. There were a few things that didn't quite work for me. Some of it's little stuff and some of it was larger stuff. There was a rather big unbelievability factor in this film where there were several scenes that just did not make any sense. One scene, it was a little thing, but Marton Csokas' character speaking to his superior, and he's speaking Russian, and then he's speaking English, and then he's speaking Russian again, and then he's speaking English. I don't understand why he would make that choice. There's a scene towards the middle of this film where Denzel Washington he's questioning this guy, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but the scene in and of itself is just a bit ridiculous. I found myself watching the entire scene thinking of, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this happening? The other performance from the other actor was just really over the top. In my opinion, and it just didn't make any sense. I don't understand how you could finish shooting that scene and watch it back and say, yeah, that worked, because it didn't for me at all. I found that scene to be really ridiculous, and unfortunately, it's not the only scene that does that. There were definitely a few times when I found myself looking at the film and going, come on. That stuff that maybe you could get away with in the 80s and 90s, when it came to action films. But I do think that we have a higher standard today, or at least I hope we do. And there were definitely just some unbelievability moments that bothered me a great deal, and it just really took down the experience for me. I'm going to give this film a 3 out of 5. It was okay, and definitely if you are in the mood for an action film and you like Denzel Washington and you want to go see this film, you could probably go and enjoy it. And it's not a terrible movie by any wild stretch of the imagination. There are just a few things that didn't really work for me, and it's just kind of okay, and I think it's a bit forgettable. So, have you seen this film? What did you think about it? Leave a comment below and let's talk about it. And as always, click right here if you like what you see and subscribe to even more of me.